In this video I'm going to be exploring the ellipse command, the center and axis end commands. So for the center, we're asked to specify the center of the ellipse. So I'm going to go ahead and left click to specify the center. I'm going to drag the mouse to my right, and it's now going to ask me to specify the endpoint of the axis. So this is going to be the distance from the center point of the axis of the ellipse to the end of one of your axes. So for example, I'm going to enter 200 for half the major axis in this case. Hit select, and now it's going to ask me, as you can see highlighted in blue beneath the cursor, it's asking me for the distance from the center of the ellipse to the end of the minor axis. So for this case I'm going to type in 100. Okay. Now if I am to annotate this and dimension it, just to prove, we can see here that our distance for half the major axis is 200, and the distance for half the minor axis, as I entered in 100, should be 100. Okay. Now just to go over that again, back into our home, into our ellipse and center. So specify the center of the ellipse. Left click, specify endpoint of axis. So we'll enter in 200 for example, hit enter. It's now going to ask us for the endpoint of the other axis, i.e. the minor axis. In this case I chose 100, and hit enter. And that's your ellipse with a major axis of 400 and a minor axis of 200. Now we're going to go ahead and create our axis and end ellipse. And as you can see, this creates an ellipse or an elliptical arc. From the diagram in red there and the three green arcs, we can see the sequence of our points. See, the first point to create is on the end of one axis, the major axis. The second point is at the other end of that axis, and the third point is the third on the other axis too. So we'll go ahead and click it. Specify axis endpoint of ellipse. That's one point of the axis. Now we can either free drag it to our left or to our right, or we can enter in a dimension. For this I'm going to enter in 200. And as you can see, we're free to drag the cursor up and down to create more of a vertical ellipse or more of a horizontal ellipse. For this one I'm going to play around and create a vertical ellipse. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in a dimension of 240. And that's our vertical ellipse created. If I'm to go ahead and measure this, if I go to annotate, dimension, I can see that the dimension for half my major axis is 240, as that's what I entered in, i.e. giving me an entire major axis of 480.